So in this small session, we'll be learning about two special variables. We already learned about environment variables, local variables, global variables, and we learned how positional parameters affect a shell script. The two special variables which we are going to talk about are these two. First is the return code. So anytime we run a script, we can even check the return code of that shell script by using $? So this is a standard that when a shell command is successful, the return code is always 0, and if it fails, the return code would be something non-zero. Suppose I do ls non-existing file. So we got an error, and also if we check the return code of the previously run command, it will be some non-zero, it is 1. So for all the Unix command, it is mostly 1 for failures and 0 for success, but in your shell scripts you can give return code as any other number, so that if it is exiting because of uh, non-connectivity, then you can give a return code of 2. If it is exiting because of an authentication issue, you can return it with return code of 5, so that when you can check the return code, you will know what was the exact reason for the failure. And how this return code comes out of that shell script, we specifically give a command exit and a number, so that that return code can be checked. We will see that. Let us try using a existing script. Okay, so this shell script I will modify. Here I'll just do exit and 4, just a number. So I can give, so shell script is run. Now I can check the return code. If there is no return code and everything is run successfully, the return code of the last executed command, which was the pwd for this shell script, it was 0. So at that time return code would be 0, but now we specifically put exit 4. So if I check the return code now, it will be 4. So this is how the $? Is used. This is a special variable which will be very helpful when we create a big shell script, and after running one command we want to check the status of the previous command ran to know whether to proceed further or do some other operation. This is very helpful. Now another special variable is PID or process ID, which is represented by $2 symbols. So every Unix process has a process ID associated with that. Since there will be multiple processes running on the Unix machine system, these PIDs are used to identify a particular process. And when a shell script runs, it itself gets a process ID or PID, which we can use it to identify that. And to use it in the shell script, we can use the $$ symbols like this. Let us open an existing script. Here I will go process is okay. So you see, after running these two statements, last echo statement will print the process ID of the process. Now the important thing to note here is, if you run it again, see the PID has changed. That means when we ran this process earlier, it got this PID and exited, and when we ran it another time, it got some other process ID and exited. And we can try getting the return code out of that. So because all the commands were run successfully, so the return code was 0. So this is about these two special variables. Thank you, folks.